Hey guys, what's up? Morning coffee. Cheers. I always believe in trying to improve myself and little by little, trying new things out, find ways to get things done faster, better alternatives or whatever. I mean, I'm willing to readjust myself if if it means that I'm able to like save time in one manner, right? Just for the comfort of knowing something or doing something that I know works or whatever. I'm not a purist in any manner, right? If something doesn't feel right to me, or if I know there's a better way of doing things, or cheaper, faster, more efficient, whatever, I explore it, right? So I've been using Premiere Pro for a long time. I started with Actually, no, I started editing with iMovie. Then from iMovie, I started messing around with Final Cut Pro 7. And then from that, I messed around with Adobe Premiere Pro and pretty much just stuck with it forever, right? Adobe Premiere became kind of like the normal, inside like the film circle of people that I was editing with. So, I stuck with it. Then eventually I got Adobe CC. Is it perfect? No, there's a lot of shit that I do wish they do improve. But again, I'm one person of the millions that use it. So I can understand that, a perfect software does not exist according to my standards, right? So I keep that in mind. That being said, more and more I'm coming around like videos of people saying how they're switching over from Premiere Pro over to like DaVinci Resolve, right? So I got curious, right, to see more about like DaVinci Resolve and all this stuff. So I downloaded the DaVinci Resolve 16. This is a beta. I don't know how I feel about it. It's funny because there's a lot of videos, a lot of positive like people saying how much they love it and fuck Premiere and yada yada and this and that and all this shit. And like, okay, I can understand like the frustration of using Adobe products, However, someone like me, I'm at a point where like I don't just use Premiere, so that's another thing. I use Premiere, I use After Effects, I use Adobe Bridge. They have other softwares in beta like Fuse where you can create your own 3D models in it, Photoshop, the exporter and all this stuff, All their software is available through their monthly subscription plan, but a lot of it I don't use. However, it is cool. If you're interested, you can just try it out. And if it's for you, cool. If not, not whatever, right? But me personally, I wish it wasn't $52. I'd be more than happy to pay somewhere between $20 to $30, a month. That being said, all right, so I got DaVinci Resolve and I'm messing around with it. And I got the beta version. So again, probably things are not perfect. And I'm not going to do an overview or anything like that. But probably the main thing that turned me off from like trying to explore more about how to use the software is that one, you cannot click and adjust the layout of your work environment, right? So unlike the Adobe Premiere Pro, you can click and drag whatever window you want and put it wherever you want. You can save that work layout, and then that'd be your own personalized custom work layout that you want, right? You cannot do that here whatsoever. I mean, you can like stretch things out, which is cool, right? But again, you cannot grab a tab and move it somewhere else however you want. So that's one thing that's kind of a bummer. Another thing that I don't like is basically that when I'm editing, I usually have 3 monitors, right? My main monitor is right in front of me. That's the one that has like the best, color output. That one when I'm color correcting is what I use, right? Along with a bunch of other windows. I have another monitor to my left, which is a 1080p monitor. And that one, I mainly use it to have my timeline maxed out in that window. That way I can see like the whole timeline in one window, it's just easy for me to get around. Then like the big monitor on my right, that was like a 2K monitor, and that one pretty much I have it for like having all the bins open so I can see pretty much like my footage and all that, so I can have big thumbnails so I know what's what, so I can click through it, and drag, and all the other stuff, right? So yeah, I work with multiple screens. If I had a bigger desk, I want to have a 4th screen, but it's more down the line. But anyways, I like to use multiple screens, so that's my thing. Unfortunately, from my understanding with this thing, you cannot do that. Unless, I went to like forums and all that, and pretty much people are talking about like having full screen modes or dual screens and all that. And like in the forums here, what they were saying is that you need to get like a deck link cards from Blackmagic. That way you're able to use multiple windows to edit. I guess the idea of this is basically if you want to export a video image to one of your monitors, these cards will bypass any color correction, color adjustments, or whatever that the computer may need. And these things will give you more of a true, accurate color, from my understanding, right? Again, I just did this in one day. Like, I just woke up one morning and started messing with it, and I spent all day trying to like see if I wanted to switch or not. So if I'm wrong about something, don't crucify me. But again, if you want to use multiple monitors, I guess using one of these cards to like send out the signal to your monitors, you're gonna need it. So you're gonna need a computer that's able to like have the PCIe slot, be able to use this damn card, right? And they come in different models and all that, but these things can go up pretty high in price, One mini monitor 4K thingamajig is like almost $200, and they go up. It's like, ugh. One thing I do like about DaVinci is basically the playback. In the free version, you are limited to 8-bit, right? So if you want to mess with footage that's like 10-bit, you need to get like the studio version, right? It will not work. When I was importing footage from Paul that was 10-bit, recording in 10-bit, it just came out black. You cannot see it. Yeah, I guess I'll show you. I'll see if I can drop in. I'm pretty sure this is 4K. See, you double click. It just shows the audio file. There's no video, right? Because it's as in 10-bit, so it doesn't show whatsoever, right? It says .movie, but all you see is the damn just audio, right? Unless this one's the 8-bit, so you can see it. So, anyways, that's to keep in mind. In the free version, you got to film in 8-bit, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, in the workspace, there's this section here which says dual screen. This monitor is a 4K monitor, right? So my left monitor, which is this one, is a 1080p monitor. I guess it cannot adapt to like the different resolution or something. As you can see here, like it's all jumbled up and stuff, and like it's kind of hard to like maneuver myself and see stuff. Like I don't know. I mean, you got your transitions and whatnot, but I mean everything's very smashed together, right? I don't know. It'll be hard for me to work like this. And again, if I want to have the timeline on this monitor, I cannot click and drag and move it over here. I can't do that at the moment. That's kind of lame, right? There's no customization of how you want to have your work layout whatsoever. So this is in beta, so it could be there's a glitch, but like actually it does have like a very easy way to sync up audio, right? All you do is simply select the waveform and your clip that you want to sync up. Just select both, right click, audio sync, and pretty much you tell it if you want to sync it based on the time code or the waveform or whatever. So I used the waveform and it did work. It automatically matches the waveforms and it replaces the original camera audio with a good external mic audio. That works pretty well. However, for some reason, like after I closed and opened the project again, it went out of sync.
And their links and everything. And here I'm just going to be marking down the winner for each one in order.
Yeah, I don't know why it just did that. So it could be because it's in beta version, but it's something to keep in mind. Another thing I didn't like about this software is basically I like to use Pluralize. Pluralize is basically what I use to like sync up my audio with the camera footage. Now there are times when me and Paul we use multiple cameras, sometimes up to 3 cameras at the same time. So we use his lavalier audio, which is the main audio source, and then pretty much we use that audio file to sync up 3 external cameras. And from here, I export it as an XML file. This exports an XML file, which is basically like a blueprint for Premiere Pro to tell it, okay, this clip goes here, this clip goes there, and yada yada, and it imports everything for you, right? I actually have a video on how I use the software in the description. You guys can check it out. But the thing is, like the files from Pluralize, it does not work. I did a few tests here. If I try to import the XML file, I get this error that the clip was not found. Do you want to select another? Pretty much, it found like it has a cam A, but I cannot find the audio. So if I hit yes, let me try to find it. Then that shit happens. Now I can't find it. See in the pull down menu? I don't know. Like I said, could be a glitch because it's on beta. I don't know. That's another problem. Another thing about using DaVinci Resolve is like I bought packs with transitions that specifically made for Premiere Pro. So obviously, if I switch over to something like this, I won't be able to use those packs. This is more GPU oriented. So if you have good graphics cards, let me show you. Go to preferences here. It detects that I have 2 video cards, right? You can use both GPUs combined to help you edit faster, right? But if I hit save here, let's see, this is like limitations. Basically, I need to buy like the studio version if I want to be able to use my multiple GPUs, right? So in other words, if you want to if you have 3 GPUs or 4, whatever crazy rig you have, you're going to be able to use multiple GPUs to help you edit faster, right? But if you have 1 graphics card, that'll be fine, right? But that is pretty cool. If you have multiple GPUs, you're able to use it to edit faster, right? Have better playbacks and all this shit. If I was starting, didn't know where to start with in the sense of what's a good editing software to start with, honestly, I would encourage people to use this. I think this is really cool. And I can definitely see potential in this being expanded, right? Having a community grow based off this software, right? They have a good editing compact software with color correcting, some VFX abilities in it, freaking audio compression, cleaners, whatever. You have denoisers, filters, and all this stuff, and it's all built into here, and it's free. That's really freaking cool. You have your limitations again, but again, that's really freaking cool for being a free software. Now, I cannot at the moment switch, because like I said, probably the main things that I did not like about the software, that's kind of a turn off for me that made me be like, oh, fuck it. I cannot use multiple monitors. that itself is kind of a big major no-no for me, not being able to customize the windows, right? Not be able to grab a tab and put it, wherever I want. I can't do that. I don't like that, I actually have a specific way I like to work, that's comfortable for me, right? Also, like I said, pretty much like all the other packs I bought, pretty much, say for like the transitions or any type of like templates I buy, or a lot of that is more available for Premiere Pro. A lot of it is not available for DaVinci Resolve. Again, I was watching a video from this one guy that basically he got into like DaVinci Resolve and he really loved it, and he noticed that there wasn't a lot of tutorials on that, so he decided, hey, you know what? There's like an open market for that. Him making tutorials for DaVinci Resolve, he started doing that and he started getting good results, right? So there is some potential for newbies that if you want to get into a new software, you want to create like a new market, you can create some cool stuff for DaVinci Resolve. You can make your video based on it. So there's something there that is potential, right? But that's not me. Anyways, to end this video, cool software, really, really cool software. The fact that it's free and you can do some cool stuff with it, and like there's a lot of good fucking potential stuff in there to do, whether it's VFX, color correcting, audio, render, and it's really cool. It's really fucking cool. But the fact that I cannot use multiple monitors in a way that I want is a massive personal turn off for me, right? May not be a big deal for most people, but for me it is, right? If you are editing for yourself, for your own YouTube channel, I suggest give this a try, right? Save yourself some money and all the good stuff, and you get a lot of good features with this software, right? So anyways, that's my rant for this video. So thanks for watching. Peace.